back in, I think, 2005. I remember I was getting, like, at that time, I was getting most of my income from Google AdSense, the Google Ads program. And they were just sending checks. So one time I had this check for, I think, about $13,000. And I came to my local bank in Israel to deposit it. And I was a bit surprised because, it's a pretty high amount. So they just like asked me, okay, well, explain what is this? So I said, I have a network of websites and I put the ads and I display the ads. People come to the websites, they click, and I make money. And Google AdSense is a network, that connects between brands and so on, and they send me payments. So they just looked at me and asked, do you work for Google? I said, no, I work with Google. And I explained it again and again, and then said, okay, let me check with the vice president of the branch. So the vice president comes in and asks me the same questions. I mean, it was a relatively small bank branch. And I explained again, and then again he asked me, do you work for Google? So I said, no. And I explained it again, and then he just like listened again, and then he was like, yeah, like that just like made no sense to him, because all these concepts at the time, they did not quite exist, like website, like the banks weren't online yet, or like, ads, all that. So in the end, he asked again, like, do you work for Google? So I said, like, yes, I work for Google. and that's it. And then they just like cashed my check. And then the next time I came, like, oh, there's this guy who works for Google.
Google.
and then fast forward to like 10 years later, I remember one time, and I was already getting my Google AdSense payments through bank transfers. So they stopped doing checks. And I remember I went to the bank one time and they asked me, do you receive Google AdSense payment? And I said, yeah. And they said, oh, that's good, because we now have a system to automatically get tax deductions from them. So so I was impressed. I thought, oh, the banks finally caught up. So they now understand what Google AdSense is. That took 10 years.